What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home Doc Ock figure. Really looking forward to this one. I've been liking these figures a lot lately, and this is one that I was really excited about because it was very unexpected to me, but I'm always going to love having new Spider-Man figures that were part of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, especially if you make someone like Doc Ock, since Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite Spider-Man movie. And speaking of Spider-Man 2, just from looking at the packaging right here, I would assume there was a licensing issue with the actor Alfred Molina, which is why it says Spider-Man 2 and not No Way Home. Similar to what was going on with Andrew Garfield on his saying The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and not, saying No Way Home. But it doesn't really affect me, and the packaging is windowless anyway, so let's go over it real quick. But you can see we do get like a render shot of the figure, and then a bit right there in the background, and Doc Ock, Marvel Legends, and then Spider-Man 2 logo going on there. The top just has the spider symbol right there, as you can see, and then not much going on there with the the bottom. And then here's the side. You just get a render shot of the figure again, Marvel Legends series. And then on this side we got a close-up of the figure right there, and then here is the back right here. So we just get a full shot of the figure and then the extra accessories right there, and that looks pretty sick actually. So I'm pretty excited about this one. But without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this out of the box and take a closer look. Okay, so here's the figure out of the packaging right here, and this one is actually pretty impressive. I'm liking this Doc Ock figure just the same way as I was liking the Green Goblin figure. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here, but there's some things I'm not really a fan of, but it's not like anything like groundbreaking really. I mean, I'm still really liking the figure. I'll get into the tentacles of this guy in a bit, but I do want to get a close-up on the figure right here. So the head sculpt is actually really good. I think this is like a really nice likeness to Alfred Molina right here, as you can see. And the glasses right here, or the goggles really, they're not removable, unfortunately. That would have been cool if they were, just like how the Toy Biz was, but they're not really going to be removable. But this is a really nice head sculpt right here, and the hair sculpt is actually really well done as well. You do have the the long trench coat right here. Now there's another one right here, so it's like a separate piece. They're not really like connected. I thought it was when I first took the figure out of the packaging, but it's actually not. It actually looks pretty nice, and you can still like move it to the side, as you can see, because it kind of cuts. If you can kind of see that in a way, but it does like kind of cut here where you can see like the back of the pants right here, so that's cool. But yeah, I thought that was actually really nice. But the sculpt the sculpt on both of them is actually really nice. I like the gold paint going on here for the zipper, as you can see, and then you have like these sculpted buttons here, and along with like the pockets. Like, it actually looks really nice. It's kind of hard to like kind of show everything because the tentacles is all in the way here, but the sculpt on the trench coat is really nice, and I like the sculpt going on here. Like, there is still some details going on with this one as well, as you can see, and along with the turtleneck right here, which is nice. See, really nice details going on here. And then you have this piece, which is a floaty piece, and it's like a soft plastic too. And then here's the rest of the pants, as you can see. And then there's the brown boots, and there are peg holes at the bottom right there. And then here is the back, as you can see. So there's the tentacles coming out, and there is like some nice rips, like details going on there with the tentacles to make it look like it kind of just came out of the trench coat right there. But yeah, overall it does look really nice. Now I will say the glasses though, I feel like mine is a little too high though. You can kind of see it because of how it's like to where the eyebrows are in a way. And like his eyes are like here, like the glasses are here, but you can still see his eyebrows are like, or not the eyebrows, but the actual eyes is like here. So yeah, I do think mine are a little too high. I guess I could just try to heat it up and maybe put it a little down. But either way, the tentacles are pretty nice. The only thing I'm not really a fan of is they are bendy wire, which is cool, but you're gonna be fighting with these because they're actually pretty stiff. I don't think they're removable, because as soon as you get the figure out of the packaging, they kind of had them like they were on the figure, but they kind of had them all curled up behind, so it is going to be back heavy for the figure, and you're going to want to like kind of mess around and play with it to see where you can balance the figure. I don't really have it like balanced that well, probably because I was moving it too much, but you are gonna have to like play around with the tentacles because they are really back heavy, and they are like also like heavy pieces for the figure, and then they're really stiff too, so you really gotta mess around with them. But I don't believe they are removable, so every time I move them I always gotta like put a finger here to hold it, because I don't know if it's gonna snap or so, or so I really don't want that to happen. Alright, now jumping into the accessories. So unfortunately there is no interchangeable head sculpt. It would have been nice if there was, so then that way you can have one like without the glasses, since they're not really removable in this figure. Or like an angry expression would have been cool, because I feel like if you were going to do like dynamic poses with this guy, he's just going to really be looking like this for the most part. So yeah, I think another interchangeable head sculpt would have been nice. But you do have these two fisted hands that you're going to get once you take the figure out of the packaging. But you also have these open hands right here, and they're actually different. There are like a different scope on these. Like this one's a little bit more open than this one, as you can see, and then the fingers are different too in a way. So you are going to get these interchangeable hands right here. You have these claws right here. Let me actually move this figure back, because I'm like keep hitting the tentacles. I know it's going to fall back. But you do have these claws right here. This is going to be for the tentacles, the top ones really, mainly because for these you can actually fold them. They do have a hinge. I mean, you can put them on the bottom ones too, but I know like it's a little bit more accurate with the top ones, because I know the bottom ones are usually the bigger claws. So they do have 3 hinges here that you can like fold, which is really nice. And you can like peg them on there, of course, because they do have the peg holes right here. So I am going to do that for Doc Ock. So you can just kind of peg them on to this one right here, just like that, and that actually looks really nice. And then you have these right here. So these are the bigger ones right here. Unfortunately, they don't have articulation, which does suck. So they don't have a hinge compared to like these up top, but these would go at the bottom. And then you also have these are the last ones, and these are way bigger. These are of course for to have Doc Ock stand on the bottom ones right there, for some more posing. Unfortunately, they don't have like the same paint going on with these, and they also don't have articulation either. So that's the downside with these claws. But I mean, I guess it's cool that they give you like extra claws like that, so that's really cool. I do wish there was one where he had one where like when he took a part of Tom Holland's suit, it was like a different color, and I think one of the tentacles were colored too. That would have been cool, but I mean, I can understand why they didn't add that in. Okay, now let's get into the articulation. So the head is on a double ball peg, so you can have him look up just about there, and then down, I'd say just about there. You can actually get his chin to where his turtleneck is right there. And then you have your pivoting going on there, which isn't too bad, but you also have your rotation to the head. For rotation to the shoulder, hinge goes high, I'd say about there, which it goes over horizontal, which isn't too bad. You do have bicep swivel, and then you actually have single jointed elbows. Mine are actually pretty tight, but you do have single jointed elbows, which isn't really bad. It does like go over 90, so you get, well, like move the tentacle out the way. But yeah, it's not terrible. I think this actually looks good, and I mean the scope of it looks good with the elbow bend right there. And you have your rotation, or well, you have your rotation to the elbow right there. And then there is wrist articulation along with your standard horizontal hinge right there. Now the torso is pretty limited on this figure. I would assume there's a ball peg going on here, but because of the trench coat and then the tentacles being in the way, there's not really a lot of movement you can like really do like without moving the hips. Like there's just not a lot of movement, like crunching forward, back, or side to side. There's not like a lot of movement you can do there, so I feel like you're mainly just going to get a rotation for the waist right there. But for the hips out to the side, it's actually not bad. It seems like he can kick out to the side more than Spider-Man, so you get that much out to the side, and then he can kick forward just about there, not so much. I mean, I think this is, this is okay. And then back, of course, because of the coat being in the way. But you do have upper thigh cut, and then your double jointed pinless knees, which is going to be hard to do because of the coat being in the way. But I would say you're going to get this much range. So that's actually, yeah, pretty good right there. Now for the ankles, they can go far back about here, but they are like kind of weird when you do the articulation like that, the way how they're sculpted. And then they can't really go far forward at all, honestly. But you do have like your ankle rocker going on there. And that is pretty much the articulation right there. So there is no butterfly joints and there's no drop down hips on this guy. Now these right here are an issue for me because I can't really seem to get this guy to stand with these. I've tried so many attempts. I tried to put this forward, I tried to put it to the side, put that back. I just can't really seem to do it. It seems to just want to keep sliding. I tried it on a different surface. I just can't seem to get this guy to stand, honestly. The only way I was really able to do it was I had to put like this curved, and it was only standing for like maybe 10 seconds and then he fell down. But yeah, I can't really do anything with these at all. Okay, now for some figure comparison. It's gonna be weird because the tentacle's gonna be in the way, so it's like in a weird angle. But here's Doc Ock next to the Marvel Legends Tobey Maguire figure, and then I will also add in the unmasked one right here if you want to see how that is. So there you go. Let me actually bring these two a little bit closer, just so you can get an idea of how tall Doc Ock is to Tobey right here. As you can see, I know the claw is in the way, but that is how these two are. And then if you also want to see the SH Figure Arts Tobey Maguire figure, there you go if you want to see how that is. Here is Doc Ock next to the other Spider-Mans. And then finally, here is Doc Ock next to Sandman and Goblin. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this review on the Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home Doc Ock figure. Overall, it's pretty nice. The sculpt and paint job on this guy isn't too bad in my opinion. I really like the head sculpt the most here. I think they did a fantastic job capturing the likeness of Alfred. Now, the tentacles, they're pretty sweet to have, but at the same time, they're pretty awkward to handle sometimes. They're very stiff, and I hate that the bottom ones don't have articulation. Like, trying to do the poses you want to go for with these is going to be a bit of a hassle at times, especially when it comes to like trying to balance him. But I think once you get the hang of it, or heat it up a bit, then it's not too bad. But let me know, what are your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Now, I had mine pre-ordered through Amazon, so I'm not sure if it's still there, but you might still be able to get it through like Hasbro Post or Big Bad Toy Store. However, that is going to wrap things up here, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review, but until then, take care, my friends.